Hello everyone and welcome to Reelin' with Rachel, and I'm so glad you're here because if you have ever felt that what am I doing with my life feeling, this video is for you because that is what I have been feeling the past few months, and I need to refocus, re-look at my life, redesign what I'm doing so that I at 80 years old feel so happy and accomplished with what I've done in all of my previous years. And so I'm going to teach y'all or show y'all a technique that I learned from the billionaire himself, Warren Buffett. Now, I didn't go sit down and have some tea with him. I read about it in a book and I was like, this is really powerful. So I wanted to teach y'all because maybe you didn't read that same book and this could help you guys. So this is called the 5-25 method of planning your life or something like that. I don't know if he gave it a better title, but that's what I'm using it for in this video. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. We're going to look at what I want to do in my life, and then you can look at what you want to do in your life. And if they kind of line up, then this subscription would be awesome because we can do it together, because all YouTubers are online friends. And like they say on TikTok land, talk to me, I talk back. So let's get started. What this is our handy dandy notebook. I'm going to write down 25 of the things I'd like to do in my life. Goals, ways I help people, ways to make money, ways to spend my time, hobbies, 25 things I'd like to do in my life. Let's get started. And I would like for y'all to participate too. And don't worry if you don't have a notebook, okay? I have mine. You've seen it in another previous video. But if you don't have a notebook near you right now, still go ahead and pause the video. After I'm done saying this little thing, I'll say pause again. Not right yet. But you can open up your phone to notes and just write 25 things in the notes. And the notes function, I love notes. They really help me a lot. I've been able to use them a lot more quickly than these things in my life. Like if someone's telling me, I'll be like, hold on, I'm not on my phone. Like I'm paying attention to you, but I need to write this down in my phone because the notes function is so awesome. And if you know how to use the check marks, you do those, okay? That would be really good for this application. So let's go ahead and think about our 25 things that we want to do with our lives. So let's pause the video now and write them out. All right, for those of you that did not pause the video, I highly recommend that you either put it in your schedule, calendar, like right now, when you're gonna do this, because this is such a powerful exercise, and I'm going to show you mine right now. My top 25 goals. Let's dig into them. Okay, you're actually going to get to know me quite a bit by just the goals that I want. And these goals can be anything. Nothing is off the table. I'll just show you my top 25 really quickly. So the first one, homeschool my kids, go to Europe with the kids, go to China. Not right now. This is February 2020. Not right now. Write physics children's books, create a food forest and wildlife habitat. Let's see what else. Educate others on human trafficking and child exploitation, because with technology, the sexual abuse of children has exploded and it's terrible. Write self-help books, create a TikTok ministry, excuse me, make a children's YouTube channel like Mr. Rogers did when he didn't like television. I don't really like what YouTube's doing to kids, so I was like, well, what if I could change that? Restore native lands with food plants and other native plants. Build a tiny home, Airbnb said tiny home. Study psychology. Become a sex therapist, become a millionaire by 50. Go to Africa or for a traditional aboga ceremony. Foster children, create a home for sex trafficking victims, become a psychodramatist. Go to a Civil War, American Revolution tour of the United States. Become a yoga teacher for victims of sexual abuse. Build an earth bag home. Teach ESL to members of my community. And learn Chinese/Spanish. That was a lot. And the activity called for the foreseeable future. And honestly, I kind of see all this in my foreseeable future. Nothing's like, well, except for the 50. I honestly could. I mean, is it too lofty to push it back? I don't know. It depends on how driven I am. So let's go to part 2 of this exercise. Part 2 of this exercise is circling or highlighting your top 5 things. We did 25 other things you would like to do. Now we're going to circle the top 5 things. And this is going to be a little bit harder than the first part. So let's dive into it. If you went ahead and did yours, go ahead and like this because you're awesome. If you didn't, go ahead and like this because you know you're going to do it anyways. And let's figure out what our top 5 is going to be. All right. I don't know about y'all, but that was a lot harder than doing the first one. I know I said it and I was right. Okay. And the top 5 things that you circled are obviously the most important to you. So let me just show you what mine are. And we'll look at my thing again. Now, I did alter one of them. The Write Children's books. It did say Write Physics Children's books, but I also feel like I don't want to pigeonhole, is that the right word? Myself. So I scratched it out. You can change this. This is not set in stone. The next thing I said was create a food forest / wildlife habitat. That's really important to me, being sustainable, especially when food prices go up. And like if anything happens with the food industry and we don't have food, it's one thing to be eating stale beans you've stored underneath your house for 20 years, and it's another thing to have food grow on your property. The next thing is educate others on human trafficking, child exploitation. That's so important to me right now. The next thing is make a kid's YouTube channel. I honestly didn't want to circle that, but when I was looking at everything else, I don't know. That also might be one that I'm like, okay, I'm on the right direction, but it's not quite exactly what I want yet. I obviously have a YouTube channel now, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. So that was another reason why I'm doing this. And the last thing is to study psychology, because I think that goes along with everything else I want to do. I didn't do anything on the backside, which is kind of sad. And you know what else is really sad to me? That a lot of these things are did not circle, are super important too, like homeschooling my kids. That's what I am doing right now, and it's super important to me, but that wasn't my top goals. I think we might have come to an end of that season in our life, and my kids are ready to go back to public school, and I am so happy for the time I've spent with them now. However, seasons, man. Seasons come, seasons go. And there's a lot of them that I'm really like, why didn't I circle that? Like foster children, like these are wonderful things, but I can only circle 5, and these are the ones I feel would be most beneficial and where my heart lies the most at the moment. So let's talk about top 5. Oh my gosh, I just revealed to y'all the hideousness that was behind me. I tried so hard to hide it. So this 525 thing that Warren Buffett did, it went in a story of him talking to his pilot, his personal pilot, who had been his pilot for 10 years. And he went up to him and said, hey, you've been my pilot for 10 years. That means I haven't done my job right. Let's talk about your goals. And so he had him do this exercise of 25 things and then circle the 5 things. And he was like, okay, what are you going to do with those 20 extra things? And the pilot said, I'm going to focus on the 5, and then the other 20, I'm going to do just as I can, get those done too. And Warren Buffett said, no, that's horribly wrong. That's not what you're going to do. Those are now your avoid at all costs list. You're not going to do any of those until you master the 5 that you circled. And this just creates focus. This just laser beams your life so you can actually get stuff done instead of being like, oh, what am I doing with my life? I want to do all these things. You can't do all the things. You cannot do all the things. You have the ability to do all those things. There's no one saying, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do this. You have that ability, but there are only so many avenues you can put your energy to and be effective. There are only so many things you can do and do so well that at the time of 80, you're like, yes, like instead of being like, what did I do? I kind of just coasted, where with the top 5 and the everything else avoided, you can actually do it. You can actually do it. Now, like I said earlier, is it set in stone? I hope so. I would love that to be, but seasons change, talking about the seasons again. So I cannot just say I did this list and then guaranteed all those 5 things are going to get done. No, I actually have to go back to this list often, look at the things that I circled and make sure that they agree with my value system and where I am in my life at that point. But is it helpful for me to go to that list and be like, well, I was just kidding, I'm going to go to the other one. And every 3 months, oh, I'm just kidding, I'm going to go to this one. No, that's not the avoiding at all cost. So Warren Buffett, is he a god? Is his ideas foolproof? No, he is a billionaire. He is probably the best investor of all time, but he also just knows money and life goals. So Don't take this as the Bible. Don't take this as, you know, I'm going to do this and it's going to be completely successful. No, this is just a tool to help you know what you want to do with your life. And I hope that this tool helps you. Thank you so much for doing it with me. If you didn't do it with me, I highly recommend you do that anytime you're like, oh, what am I doing with my life? And then rewrite the 5 things. I'm going to rewrite them, maybe not with the same wording that I did because this was just an exercise. And then I'm going to post them somewhere and be like, how am I making choices today that get me to there? I'll look back and know that I did laser in on what was important to me. And that was a life well lived. So thank you guys so much for being here. Fist bump, we got this. Let me know what your top 5 things are and how I can help you with my YouTube channel and my goals. Reach your goals. I would love to create a community of us online reaching our goals, actually supporting each other through it and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned for more of the things in my top 5 and for this community of uplifting, harmony, uplifting, I don't know, insert good words here. See you next time. Bye.